boys and girls, and welcome to my channel. I am Miss Kim, and today I have a special shout out to a little boy named Mason. Hi, Mason. Thank you for letting me borrow your book. This book is a bright, silly rhyming story about a man, Mr. Magee, and his dog, Dee. They love spending time together in their boat. So on this very day, they decide to take a picnic lunch and get in their boat and head out to sea for an adventure. And boy, did they have an adventure. They ran across a very young whale who was bored with what the other whales were doing, and he wanted an adventure too. Well, let's just start the story and let's see what happens. Are you ready? The name of this story is Down to the Sea with Mr. Magee by Chris Van Dusen. Here we go. Mr. Magee and his little dog Dee loved spending time in their boat on the sea. So early one morning at 6:32, they made a decision. That's just what they do. They made a decision while they were eating breakfast, didn't they? Right after breakfast, Magee packed a lunch, sandwiches, carrots, and a thermos of punch, a big box of raisins, some sweet pickled beets, chocolate chip cookies, and crunchy dog treats. With plans for the day and enough lunch for 3, they hopped in the car and drove down to the sea. There they go, in their car. And that's where they're headed. Look at that. Aren't those pictures beautiful? Yeah. Then off they go. The pair left the dock at 7 o'clock and motored their way around Eagle Egg Rock. They passed by the lighthouse and by the old wreck, with Magee at the wheel and Dee on the deck. Boys and girls, do you see the lighthouse? That's right, there it is. They suddenly spied off the bow to the east a big pot of whales. There were 50 at least, splashing about in the bright morning sun, feasting on shrimp and sardines by the ton. But one little whale, who had eaten his fill, munching on minnows and plankton and krill, was bored with his breakfast, and since he was through, he swam off in search of something to do. There he goes. What do you think that little whale is going to do? Well, let's turn the page and read on. Now, Dee and Magee in their boat on the bay didn't notice the whale that was heading their way. They were watching the other whales put on a show, and soon that young whale was directly below. Do you see him? Yeah, the shadow in the water, right below the boat. Look for him. Yeah, that's right. There he is. What is he up to? From under the sea, the little whale spied Magee and Dee's boat, but not them inside. He longed for adventure. He wanted to play, so he bumped at the boat in a most friendly way. Then the whale placed his blowhole directly below, and ever so gently he started to blow. Oh, what do you think's going to happen, boys and girls? I think you're right. Let's see. Magee saw the bubbles. He felt the boat sway. Then up went the boat on a fountain of spray. Higher and higher the little boat flew, as harder and harder that little whale blew. Then the whale blew a blast as hard as he could, much harder, in fact, than a little whale should. And that final blast blew the boat up in the sky, first 30, then 40, then 50 feet high. Oh my golly, they went way up in the sky, didn't they? That could be a little frightening to be that high. The boat kept on rising, but it didn't stop there. Wind hit it hard and it flew through the air. Dee and Magee sailed over the sea when all of a sudden, oh no, what happened? They got stuck in a tree. So there they were, stranded, Magee and his pup, in the top of a spruce, 60-something feet up. Oh my golly, look at that. The wind gust came and blew them in the tree. Let's turn the page and see what happens. How are they going to get down from there? From their perch in the sky, the two watched in dismay as the whale far below swam swiftly away. Magee was downhearted. Just what could he do? They seemed hopelessly stuck, but little Dee knew. The secret to get the boat safely unpinned was to rock back and forth and wait for the wind. So they rocked and they rocked for an hour or so, but the boat didn't budge 'cause the wind didn't blow. Just when they thought they'd be stuck there all night, they spotted far off a spectacular sight. What do they see? I wonder what they see. Let's turn the page. Away in the distance across the blue bay, the whales, all 50, were heading their way. They swam through the water in one long straight row and gathered around the small island below. Magee looked down at the circle of whales surrounding the boat and raising their tails. He felt a bit nervous, a little bit tense, when all of a sudden it made perfect sense. They're trying to save us, he shouted with glee. Hold on, Dee, hold on, as tight as can be. What do you think they're going to do? Look at them. They're all getting ready. Their tails slapped down with a thunderous crash, which in turn created a super high splash that covered the island and raced up the tree and dislodged the boat and set them both free. Look! Wow! He better hold on to his hat. Dee was so happy she let out a yelp. Magee tipped his hat to the whales for their help. Thank you, my friends, for saving the day. Then they all waved goodbye and the whales swam away. On the way home, little Dee had a thought. What about all of the food they had brought? In all the excitement, they ate not a bite. I bet they were hungry. Saying goodbye to the whales and thanking them for their help. So they saved it and had it for dinner that night. And there they are inside the house eating their picnic lunch. What a cute little book about Magee and his dog Dee going on an adventure in the sea. How many times have you guys went on an adventure and something happened, but then it turned out okay and you had a great time? Think about it. And remember, boys and girls, a good book and your imagination will take you anywhere. Until next time, bye.